Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Gothenburg, Sweden, on the west coast of Sweden, just across the water from Denmark. Gothenburg is Sweden's second city, only behind Stockholm in terms of size and population. We're going to walk into the botanical gardens. That's where we're going to start this morning, albeit a very chilly, cool morning of about 55 degrees, about 12 degrees Celsius. And some clouds lingering around in the sky above. Let's go explore Gothenburg. So the very first stop into the tour of the Gothenburg Botanical Gardens takes us into the pine trees, the conifer forest. And that right there is a pinyon pine. To all my friends in northern Arizona, you recognize those. Kind of an interesting display here. So the conifer forest, the pine tree field, has trees from all over North America, Europe, and even into Asia, all planted here. And there's also word that there's a redwood tree in here, like from Northern California, although I've walked through and I have not seen it. But up ahead is a gazebo that dates back over 300 years that was placed here when the botanical garden came to fruition over 100 years ago. We'll go find that. I thought I would take the hike up to the viewpoint that they offer here at the Botanical Gardens. And although the GoPro certainly won't do it justice because you cannot zoom in, this gives you a little bit of a look back. Behind the trees there is the actual water, and that kind of gives you a look back in towards the city. In the foreground there is the church where we started this video, so we've come a little ways into the park. All right, we're going to leave nature behind and go into the city and explore a little bit around Gothenburg. Well, down in the heart of the city of Gothenburg, you have the Central Station. This is normally a buzz of activity, but we are here on a holiday where businesses and schools and things such as that are shut down for the day. Also, the trams are running on a holiday schedule as well, so they don't run near as frequent. Normally during a weekday, this place will be a hum of activity. Gothenburg is a very large city. As I mentioned before, it is the second largest city in Sweden behind Stockholm. Well laid out. The trams are very easy to navigate, as well as the buses, so you can get just about anywhere in a relatively short period of time. And it has canals that run right through the city. So I thought maybe we would walk along the canal this morning and just get a look, a little snapshot of downtown Gothenburg. In the distance here along the canals, you hear the German church chiming here this morning at about 9 a.m. And a very, very quiet morning here in Gothenburg. As I mentioned, we're at the holiday season. This is the midsummer, a very, very big event, not only in Europe, but especially in Scandinavia. My Airbnb hostess is actually heading up into the countryside, and apparently that's the thing, is you leave the city, looks like everybody already has, head to the countryside, and basically sundown right now. I mean, if you look outside at 11 p.m. it's still quite bright, and what she was telling me is they'll basically party and drink all night long. While the actual holiday, I think, falls tomorrow, the big party day is Midsummer Eve, which I believe is today. Have some shopping centers, coffee shops. I came to this one a couple days ago, Joe and the Juice. That's actually a worldwide coffee shop, but started over here, I think, in London some years ago. I think that's correct. All right, let's continue on here in the city of Gothenburg. Kind of an interesting area on this side is a market that's closed today, of course, but it is like a open, I don't know if you want to call it like a farmer's market. They have many restaurants and dining options that you can partake in. There's even some outdoor patio seating. A little more shopping here on this side. I walked through there a couple days ago, and you can actually find a variety of different cuisines, and lunch is one of the big meals in Sweden. About every restaurant is going to have a lunch special on the menu, anywhere from about 12 to 15 euros, and you can dine pretty well. Kind of down on one of the picturesque canals here in Gothenburg, and you also have these cigar looking boats that you can pay and take a little city cruise on. I don't recommend that, however, because if you buy a ticket on the public transport here in Gothenburg, it's good for buses, trams, and boats. So you can actually take a boat ride out to different islands around the archipelago, which is the plan while we're here in Gothenburg, is to go out to the islands in the archipelago. But the day ticket is around, I think it's like 12 euros, $12. And if you buy a 2-day ticket, you basically get a day for free. So a 3-day pass ends up costing about $24, $25 or euros. And it's good for 72 hours, and you can use it as much as you like, but you can use it on any mode of transportation. So rather than spend $15 or $20 on a tour to go around the canals, just jump on a boat for free with your day ticket that you bought from the Gothenburg transportation. Come up a little bit further along the main avenue here, or one of the main avenues. get into a little bit more fine dining options. Some different restaurants and cafes along the way. The Espresso House, that is a real big coffee place here in Sweden. You'll find them about everywhere. Kind of a unique environment here on a weekday morning to have the entire place this empty. Ooh, the Hard Rock Cafe. Gothenburg gets instant credibility. Always about a town with the Hard Rock Cafe in it. John Scott's, I've seen that restaurant a couple different locations. Sports all day, every day. How about that? Quite cool temperatures here in midsummer. Maybe about 60 degrees today, 15 or 16 Celsius. Pretty comfortable in the sunshine though. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up this brief stroll through Gothenburg. I think the plan will be in a day or two to head out to the archipelago and check out some of the islands. So whether that will be a part of this video or a separate one, I guess will remain to be seen, but I think I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. I believe I can find a cafe up this direction, and say good morning from Gothenburg. Well, after about a 50-minute boat ride through the archipelago of western Sweden, the pissoir come in quite handy. There is the boat that brought us over. It makes a stop at about 7 or 8 different islands out here in the archipelago. There's hundreds of islands surrounding the town of Gothenburg. And it was suggested to me by several people to jump on that boat and come out here and just pick an island to get off and cruise around and explore. And we picked Brano, B-R-A-N-N-O, with the little dots above the A and the O, which probably changes the pronunciation to something that I got incorrect. But welcome to the archipelago near Gothenburg, Sweden. Let's go explore. I must say, some pretty easy hiking out here on the island, and some absolutely remarkable homes here in the archipelago. So I'm going to guess probably no vehicles on any of these islands, but I have been passed by several people on cycles heading back down towards the port area. Only a few kilometers from Gothenburg itself as the bird would fly, but it does take you some time to get out here via the boat. So while it probably feels like a secluded lifestyle out here, you're not terribly far from the city itself. right, we'll continue on. I must say it's some pretty pleasant walking around the island here, which I did get confirmation from two young ladies back by the beach. They told me it's pronounced Branu. Branu. All those little dots above the A and the O kind of change that pronunciation just a little bit. So as long as they were telling the truth, we'll go with Branu. And you got to roll the R's. Boy, a definite Swedish feel. From the city of Gothenburg itself, probably, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 miles as the bird would fly, 13, 14 kilometers, maybe. But to get out here, you have to take the ferry boat. I guess you could actually have your own boat. No rule against that, right? But definitely a secluded feeling. I doubt that there's any markets, restaurants, or coffee shops. At least not that I've experienced on this short walk. But there are 2 landing and takeoff spots for the boat. So the one where I came in, and there's another one on the other side of the island. So I think I may walk that direction, although I'm just kind of wandering right now. The plan is I don't want to be out here for too long and miss the boat going back, so got to be careful with the time. Pleasant afternoon here in Gothenburg Archipelago. Well, not long after I said probably no food or dining options, Karen's food truck. About 30 meters right down that direction. I'm going to continue on this way though. If I have to loop back or turn around and come back this way, then maybe we'll stop in at Karen's and have a coffee or cocktail or something. Some traffic coming. Kind of unique. Their rules ask you to walk on the left side. I kind of got stuck in the right lane there. I did read a sign for a nature preserve here on the island, so maybe we'll be able to find that at some point too. Hi. Yeah, traffic is picked up in this neighborhood. That's how you get around right there. Got a man working on his home up here. I've seen a few people doing that, taking advantage of the nice weather here in the latter part of June. The Branu Legard Museum. Interesting. Some limited dates here. June, July, and August. It's a short summer here in Scandinavia. About 4 months. But after rain the last couple of days, look at that bright blue sky. I stopped back by the water there moments ago, looked at my phone. I'm clear across the island. I've gone up and down some hills, and I was exact straight line opposite of where I began the hike at. Look at this. Wow. That lawnmower is the first engine I've heard on this island so far. I saw one van parked, but it was a service van for somebody. I'm not quite sure who it was, but many people out walking, riding their bikes. Probably about 62 degrees Fahrenheit today, about 16 Celsius. So we've had rain the last couple of days here in Gothenburg, but today was a perfect day. I always wish I could get my grass looking that good. That's usually what mine looked like. My first day in shorts here. That was a smart idea. I think I'm heading back the correct way now. Maybe we'll go to Karen's and get a coffee, or there's another little shop back there too. It looked like it had maybe like an ice cream stand or something. That doesn't sound bad. An old iced cream. Some of these houses are built right into the rocks. I find that pretty impressive and unique. I didn't expect to see that one. Maybe it's a restaurant. All right, we'll continue. Need some water. Getting a little thirsty here. I got about half a liter left. I'm trying to ration it till I get back. And why the hell are we going back uphill? All right, more to come. Well, after a rather short but very steep climb, we have entered the nature preserve, or the nature reserve, maybe is the official title for it. It looks like it's just a place here on the middle of the island that has no houses, no construction, and fairly quiet. I did find a grocery store right down the hill. Got a bottle of Emsdal. That's Norwegian water. That's imported here in Sweden. I'll follow this for just a little bit. I've got about 40 minutes, I think, until the next boat leaves, and that might be the last boat of the day, so don't want to miss that. From the nature preserve, here in the archipelago, western Sweden, near Gothenburg, Branu. Well, I made it back down to the boat departure area. It's supposed to be leaving at 4:03 p.m. and it was never here, and there's no people here. It's now about 4:30. Let's hope we're not stuck out here in the middle of the archipelago for the day.